It is, right, and we're back in. So, are we back into chat? I think we are. I think Louise has got us. Deanna? Got to wait for Deanna now. See how far she got with reading.
You're definitely live because it's just come up on me. What's it that you're live?
Yeah.
I'm just about to pop the chat out again.
But I don't know whether they're all still in chat or they're not in chat because all the conversations are still there from previous one. That's the daft thing.
Yeah, this is just it's ridiculous what's going on with this.
It is. Oh, coming in now, so Deanna will be in a minute. We'll see how far she got with reading.
Yeah, for all we know, it might have cut off before you finished.
It could have. It could have.
You just have to explain to everyone that YouTube's.
Just explain to everybody that YouTube's an arse.
Yeah, YouTube's an arse.
No, we'll end up getting kicked off again.
Oh no. Yeah, sorry about that, my lovelies. YouTube at the moment are having issues where once you've gone live for about an hour, they are kicking screen. Deanna, how far did you get on Brett's reading?
It's not. What it is with all this that's kicking off, obviously with the thing that we are not discussing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone over to automated.
And they're just doing it.
So it's just automatic checking and it's just gone crazy. It's like computers got a power trip and took over.
Marvelous.
And just everybody's suffering from it at the minute. It just seems to be picking at everybody on random.
Yeah.
And taking the videos down.
So you heard what he said, Deanna, up to third card. So we're on this card now, Deanna.
Did she hear the third card or not?
Put the third card, so I'm not sure whether she heard the third card, and we're on this one.
Yeah, that's what it is, Bill. Everybody's getting violated, but they're not penalising anybody for it. You ain't getting strikes or nothing because they're aware of it. Right, okay. Deanna, your path is then going to go into a phase of what they call synchronicity, where it's that one thing happens to trigger another, to trigger another, to trigger another, and this is the period that you're about to come into. You've got to follow this path and you've got to follow these set steps, because if you miss one, you'll break this synchronicity. But definitely go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, because that's what your synchronicity card is representing. There is going to be a series of events coming up for you that you have to follow in a set path, because this is the path that you need to take. Okay, on to the next one then, Lindsay.
Take a moment card.
Right, now this is saying at the end of this synchronicity phase, you need to step back and take a moment to yourself, and you need to evaluate the things that have gone on during this period of synchronicity. It's not something anybody can help you do. It's more like a self-evaluation. The things that occur during the synchronicity phase of your future, you will have no real control over. They have got to be lived through. But then it's saying at the end of this synchronicity, then is the moment to stop and think and evaluate what's gone on, because the answer to your path in life is going to be something you realise for yourself. Okay?
And then trust is the last one.
Right, now this is the one you're probably not going to like, Deanna, because what this is saying as a final outcome is the only way you're going to follow the path that you are meant to take is you've got to swallow your pride and bare your soul. You've got to trust the people around you to actually believe in you as a person, but you've also got to trust in the fact that these people will accept you for who you are. Connecting back to this hiding behind a mask thing, it is definitely a bearing of the soul that is your path in the future, and that is going to be that's going to be your redemption sort of thing. There has got to be a bearing of the soul for you to go down the path of life that you need to. Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Oh, that's all right for you, Deanna. Who we got next? John?
Hold on, for 2 seconds.
He's just doing something. So can't see who's on my list.
The thing that annoys
Louise.
I haven't seen if she's come back in though.
Yeah, let's just check. The thing that's annoying me about this, Lindsay, is when it's going off, it's taking. Oh, sorry, what?
She's got pick number 3.
She what? Louise wants what?
Future reading.
Future reading.
And number 3.
So I'll go for these ones. Right. Go on, Brett, you were saying.
what's annoying is when your stream is being kicked off, it's telling everybody in the stream that you've been done for community violation.
Yeah,
And that is making it look bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Luckily, they have said though that you're getting no strikes. You know, they've disabled the strike thing.
I should think so. And this one's a future reading, this one, Brett?
Yeah, do it on a 3-carder then.
Right, so your future card for me is, I'm going to do it this month, next month, and month after, if that's all right. I don't know how Brett will do his, but that's how I'm going to focus on this one. So this month, I feel that you have cocooned yourself up. You've gone on like protective mode for some reason. Now, there's something close to your chest. So I don't know whether you've got something going off with your chest, Louise, or there's something around you that you're sort of like protecting your heart from, but you've definitely got your guard up, and you're down on your knees, and it's sort of like, it's like you're moving back from something. Instead of like facing it, you're like hiding away from it. And I think you need to like stand up and face whatever it is, and break through these like thorny things around you, because you've got like, I call them these pentacles, but they like star. And I know people represent these for money. I tend not to, but I am going to say I don't know whether this is around a money situation, just because you're like sitting on money. So I don't know whether you're sitting on money not to spend it, or there's something coming up that you're unsure of on where to spend it. But I don't think it is, because like I said, I think you've got your arms up to a protection to yourself, but you're like cocooning something. So to me, it's something around the heart area. So whether, like I said, I think I'm going to go down path of it's more relationship thing. I'm not sure whether there's something going around you in a relationship where you're feeling like, I don't know, slightly pushed out, pushed back, pushed, like you're not a part of it at the minute. And whether there's disagreements coming up around you, I'm not sure, Louise. I don't think that it's a major, I don't think it's a bad art. I don't think it's anything negative, you know, like a right big argument. But I don't know whether there's decisions being made around you and you're not feeling like you're part of a certain decision kind of thing. Because that's what I'm getting from card, just because you've got the protections up there going across your chest. But whatever it is that whatever journey that you've been on, it's not been a straightforward journey, even to where you are now, because you've got this bend coming out, and you've also got these like spikes, and to me they're like dead opportunities. So I'm not sure whether you've done some opportunity, you've done some like different paths, whether work related, and they've like, it's not like actually happened, but this one is happening. And I don't know whether there's a disagreement coming. I don't like saying disagreement because it sounds like you're having an argument, but I don't know whether there's like a changing circumstance that's coming in, and you're like keeping a secret, you're guarding it. So I'm changing what I'm saying. Right, give me a minute. Let me focus on what I'm saying, because I'm confusing myself. Right, you've cocooned yourself away, but you are protecting yourself. You're also hiding something, and you're keeping it very close to your chest. But like I say, you've like hid your heart as well. So to me, it could be a heart-related issue where love is not an illness. But there's definitely something that you are keeping secret or not actually talking about, because you're definitely very guarded around that area. And again, like I said, the opportunities that you've took, they've not really sort of like worked out, but this opportunity now is going to work out for you. But I think because these ones haven't, I don't know whether that's why you're not like being like forward with telling people about this opportunity around you, but you're definitely keeping something close to your chest, my lovely. You're definitely very guarded at the minute. Next month, so next month you're in a better position. Whatever whatever dead end it was, whatever this new thing and the thing you're keeping close to your chest, you're going to talk about it. Obviously, you're going to let it out, but it's all going to work out. Whoever you're keeping the secret from, it's all going to work out okay. Because you're sort of like surrounded now with the cups. So cups to me are signs of celebration. Again, the stomach area, though, you've got something coming in around the stomach. So I'm not sure whether you've got issues around your tummy. On this card, actually, your tummy's quite covered also. It's got like a dark belt. So I'm not sure whether there's issues around your tummy at the minute or coming up next month. Again, nothing serious, but it's just like making you aware there's some issues around your tummy. Again, you're still quite guarded though, even in future, but instead of you like being cocooned in that one, you've got somebody else with you, but like again, you're cocooning them. So I don't know whether again the secret, whatever you're keeping to yourself, you're sort of like ready to talk about it. I think next month you're ready to discuss that issue or whatever it is, because you're bringing it more forward from yourself. So that's what I see on that card. Again, just watch out for some drama next month, because you can see it coming in at bottom, but that's where it's staying. And then you've got your flowers, which to me is like a happier time. So the drama's not going to even reach you, because you've got this coming in there. You've also got a bird coming in. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but there's definitely a bird coming in. So to me, again, a bird symbolizes something new. So I don't know, again, another new, this is going to lead to something new, I think. And it's like, a bird's like messengers. So whether there's like a message or something coming in, because there's definitely a bird waiting here in background. But I do think that whatever you're holding on to this month, next month, you are going to be more, whether you talk about it fully, but you're ready to start talking about it with somebody. The month after, you've got the High Priestess card. So to me, again, with the High Priestess, I think you're a very closed person anyway, Louise. I don't think I think you hide a lot of your feelings and don't. You know how people you wear your feelings on your sleeve, wear your heart on your sleeve. I don't think you're that kind of person. I think you're quite not how can I put it? You're not guarded, but like you like keep you like you're okay in the circle that you've got, if you know what I mean. You've got a moon coming in this card. So again, in third month, there's another opportunity coming up. But what the good thing is on this card is you no longer have got your arms around your chest. They're sort of like wherever your arms have disappeared to, you're not guarding that chest area. So you've definitely like let go of this. But that letter that I said about the bird coming in, the scrolls there. So whatever messenger you've got, whatever message you've got coming in there is going to actually come in on your third month, which would be March, April, May, wouldn't it? Because we're in March now. So in March, I do think that whatever this message coming in here is going to arrive sometime in March. In May, sorry. In May, yes.
I'm having problems because I'm about 10 seconds behind, so I can hear you when you're looking at me.
Just be careful though, because you know some of these that were trying to cause drama there are still on the outside of you. So just be aware, even as months going, you're still going to have to like watch out. Just watch for that drama coming in outside on you. Again, you're not involved in it, but it's like people have got that drama around edges. But you'll have to let me know if you do get that letter. But yes, but definitely talk about whatever it is that you're holding in now, my lovely. So Brett, over to you. 4 of Pentacles.
Okay. Right, Lindsay. Louise, sorry. I got Lindsay on the brain. These 3 cards are very, very closely linked, and this reading is along a similar vein to what Karen's was.
Lindsay.
To me, it's coming across as a caterpillar to a butterfly situation, which is signified by the first and second cards, but it's very much on a spiritual level. What that card is showing me that you're about to come up into a period of your life where you are going to set yourself apart on an emotional level, which is signified by the hands crossed against the heart, and also the fact that you're actually up away from the other people in that card. You've like set yourself apart, and that is what it's saying. But it's setting it. It's not necessarily isolating yourself from people, but it's definitely isolating yourself from people on a spiritual level. She's in a very basic costume there, and she's also in a tree, which to me is what signifies it's a personal growth thing. The tree represents the growth that you're about to attain, and that is why you're sitting in the top of the tree. The tree is the growth that's carrying you up, but you've had to get yourself into the situation where, on a spiritual level, you're withdrawing, and that is why you've got your arms crossed against your chest and you're pulling within yourself emotionally, because you're about to embark on something that you're going to find really, really interesting. Right, on to the next one, Lindsay.
Next one, we've got 9 of Cups.
Yeah, now this is the one that is really interesting, because this leads on directly from the other one, and this is almost like what I'd say is your butterfly card. If you look at your first card, she was very, very basically dressed and stuff. Now she's in like full finery, almost like the butterfly hatching out of the chrysalis. And this is where it tells me that there's gonna be a complete rebirth for you on a spiritual level, almost like the caterpillar going into the chrysalis, turning into a butterfly and hatching out, spreading your wings and flying. But this is very much on a paranormal, spiritual type level, Louise. It's a very, very interesting time that links into your third card, which is your High Priestess. Now, your High Priestess this is a major arcana card, but it is also one of the weirdest cards in the deck, depending on how it's related to the cards around it. It can signify a sly or deceitful woman, but I think where this card indicates you is the other side of the card, where it is the High Priestess is the female equivalent of the Hierophant, one of the other major arcana cards, and she's the keeper of hidden sacred knowledge. So we're talking about things on a paranormal level here, Louise, and this is why I think your journey is going to be one of paranormal knowledge. And this is the theme that's running through these entire 3 cards. The journey's about to start sometime in the future, and it's going to be, I'd say, within the next 12 months. You're gonna blossom in whatever area of the paranormal you're really interested in. Now is the time you're going to embark on it, and you're going to become very, very successful. And the High Priestess is like what they call an advisor, or very much like the job of a priest is to advise his flock. This is what the High Priestess represents on the paranormal level, Louise. The High Priestess is the keeper of secret knowledge. It could even mean an interest into paganism and Wicca, but whatever it is, it's going to be massive development on your part, and you are going to become an advisor to others because of it.
Marvelous.
So, I hope that helps. That was definitely caterpillar to butterfly. That one, most definitely.
Who we got next?
Leah Widget.
Leah.
Past, present, and future.
Yeah.
3.
Leah, any particular set, my lovely? I'm trying. You don't want to know what I've just done.
Wow.
I've put my hand on computer screen to try and scroll up, chat.
You need a touch screen monitor for that, Lindsay.
That tickles me.
Those type of monitors are expensive.
Brett, any particular pack you want to use?
Left of the spirit deck.
Spirit deck. This one.
Yeah.
Right, and what number?
3.
This is a past, present, and future reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
First card that come out, that one. I'm just letting cards fall and see where they all fall.
On the floor, if you do it like that
I was going to say, just make sure they don't fall on the floor.
I know. Do you know, normally, if they fall on the floor, though?
I always pick it.
Yeah, I do.
I always say if they fly out the deck like that, they've come out for a reason.
Right, so what were these? Past, present, and future, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so for this card, you've got your stand your ground card. So I'm not sure whether you had to stand your ground in the past, whether there were people that were trying to push you in different directions again, and you're quite strong-headed, and you've also got a lot of like branches sprouting from you, which to me means that you were quite dreamy, and had lots of ideas. Yeah, and had lots of ideas coming in when you were younger, but it were like people wouldn't listen to you. And I think that some ideas you had were absolutely fantastic. So I feel that you did have to stand your ground with people. I also feel that you might have had to stand your ground with other people as well, like friends and stuff, because I think sometimes at times I feel like that you could have been taken advantage of. Now you've got an acorn. I've just seen that acorn like falling from the tree. And I'm not sure what that acorn would actually represent, but it's like falling into your pouch on your back. So whether this is one thing, there was one thing that come up in your past that is relevant to your future now, is the one thing that you actually did stand your ground in. So there was definitely one major thing, I think, that you put your foot down and stood your ground with, and took that upon yourself to not take no crap with it. But like I said, I don't think it was all straightforward for you, just because how you are. But like I said, I do think you were quite dreamy anyway. You've got your eyes closed and your head's pointing to the sky. So I do feel that you were kind of a dreamy person anyway. But I do feel at times, though, the weight of world were on your shoulders. It were like you were carrying again. Maybe because the opinions of what other people had around you that made you sort of like question yourself quite a lot. But you definitely stood your ground. God, I can smell weed. You definitely stood your ground. I've just got a right whiff for it. My windows are
Sorry, Lindsay, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at what I love my family. I put in chat.
But yeah, definitely. I know. There was definitely one thing that you were like, no, I'm doing this, and you definitely stood your ground in the past. In the future, you've got the Animal Kingdom card. So again, I think you're completely different now to what you was in your past. I think you're a different person. Whether this acorn that were falling had something to do with like nature or animals or veterinarian or something along them lines, but I do feel that animals do play a big part around you. Just because there are animal cards turned with that acorn, that's all. But again, half your head's missing. So again, I do feel that even now, you do have to still stand your ground for certain issues around you. Again, with this card, though, because the animals again are a sign of like spirituality. So I don't know whether now you're looking on path of spirituality, or it's something that you wanted to do back then and people didn't want to know, or whatever it was. But I do think spirituality does play a big part around you now, whether it's just something that you're opening yourself up to, or getting involved with, but definitely. But I'm not sure, again, whether you have problems with your hands at times, because like your bottom of your hands and your arms are invisible. So, you know, like how you can get arthritis in your fingers, in your joints, in your hands. I'm not sure whether there is some kind of issues with your hand. And I am going to say your lower waist as well, just because your waist sort of like disappeared here. But your waist on this one and your hands, actually, you're missing on. So I'm going to say that from like, you put your hands to the side, waist down. So I'm not sure whether there were any issues around you then, and issues around you now, because like I say, your arms and your bottom half's got that invisible touch, my lovely. Your future card, it says find your center. So again, I'm going to take this back to spirituality. So I don't know whether in past the standing your ground was to do with like Brett said earlier on, maybe a religion issue, or there was some sort of your beliefs were different to others. Now where you are now, you're opening up. But this one, the find your center card, again, I think that does really link in with the spirituality card, and I'm not sure whether again in future you're going to go down like different paths, like Claire's doing now, and she's doing that teaching. Whether you're going to be like showing interest in that, or you're taking it down, going like down a different path to do with spirituality. But there's definitely something coming up with spirituality around you. But again, your arms are missing on this card, so there's definitely to me showing that there's something to do with the lower body and the hands. I think you've definitely got some kind of issues going on there, my lovely. Your overall card, you've got mother's love. So again, you've got the white rose coming in. So for me, the white rose, I see it as a symbol of love. So I do feel that there's a lot of love around you. I think with the letter showing in this card, that's going to relate back to these new things coming up in the new beginnings coming up in this card, in Find Your Center card. You've also got like a round thing, like a red that's in a center, and with that card being red, that's going to symbolize back to that card. So there's definitely something that's going to center you more here, and you're going to feel more centered. But that's what I'm getting for your love, my fam. Over this one. Oh, I just read for Leah. Sorry, Leah. So that's what I'm getting for you, Leah, at minute. So, and again, you've got mirror in that card, so it's like a reflection mirror. So again, I don't know whether you're going to be. It's like that's going back to where you're looking back and reflecting through your life. I'm not sure, but like I said, there's definitely something there. So, Brett, stand your ground card.
Okay, Leah. What this card says to me is, in the past, you have been a very, very defiant and steadfast person. You've often stood your ground when possibly maybe you shouldn't have. It does show a very, and I don't sugarcoat things when I read. It does show a tendency to be a little bit stubborn when really there's no need to. And the leaves show that you can have quite a volatile and explosive nature when poked. It's a bit like poking the beehive. What that acorn represents to me, it's falling behind your head, down your back, so you can't see it. And acorn is a sign of, it's a seed of a growth of an oak. And what it's saying is that this tendency to be a little bit stubborn, as in the past, meant you missed opportunities that could have been, really a real good experience for you. They would have helped you to grow on many levels. But because you were so defiant and stubborn with people, these things have fallen behind you unnoticed, and that is what that acorn is showing. So it is showing a bit of a stubborn and explosive nature in the past.
Animal kingdom.
Right, now moving into the animal kingdom, into the present, what it's saying is, this is a period where things are going to change. The animal kingdom, for me, represents the saying, everything has a place and everything in its place. Like the food chain and stuff like that. And what it's saying is now is the time and the period in your life where you have got to find your place in amongst everybody and everybody you interact with, be it family, friends, relationships, anything like that. And this is the period when you're going to achieve it. There is an area for everybody and there is a place for everybody. And this is what the animal kingdom represents to me. It's almost like an ecological system. It's saying that you have got to find your place within this system, and this stubbornness from the past, it's time to let go of it and find your place now. And that is what the animal kingdom represents, Leah.
Find your center.
Right, now going into the future, this is interesting, leading off the animal kingdom card, because it's saying in the future you are going to achieve this balance. You are going to find this your place in the world, basically, but it's going to be done with a lot of self-introspect. You've got to be very introspect on this, not stubborn. You've got to accept your faults as well as your good bits, and that's where you'll find your center, because your center is always a balance of good and bad. There's no such thing as a totally good person and no such thing as a totally, well, I suppose there is, but most people generally have a balance of the two. And what it's saying is learn from the past, learn from the present that's going on now, and this is where you'll find your balance between what's gone on in the past and this is to come in your future. very good card to have dropped there because it's showing that this balance is going to be achieved, what you're going through at the moment. Right, now,
A
your
mother's
overall
love.
card is a mother's love, which is a really strange one because it's like that mother is almost framed. And what to me, what that is saying is when you achieve this balance, doesn't mean you've got to be constricted by it like you're almost framed within it. People will love you for who you are, Leah. You don't have to set yourself boundaries that you can't step out of. And I think that's what that card's saying to me. You know, although that's a positive card, that woman has framed herself as a mother and nothing else. And what that's saying to me is, you know, people will love you for who you are, for your good parts and your bad parts. So do not constrain yourself within a framework. Be prepared to step outside the box and don't be frightened to step outside the box.
Thank you very much. I hope that were okay for you, Leah, my lovely lady. Next.
Tracy Irving.
Tracy.
Tracy wants a general reading.
Yep.
Number 29.
Oh, James, the coffee and the sugar in this. Do you got any sugar in it?
I think so, yeah.
No sugar in it.
I thought simply is
It's a general reading. That's like what's happening now, isn't it? Tracy, is that what you mean? A general reading is something that's happening around you now? So I think at the minute, I think you're very undecided about a situation that's around you, just because you've got the Hangman card. And I know Brett said this is a one at big cards, isn't it?
Major Arcana.
Yeah. I'll just say it's a big card.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, you're definitely really undecided, I think, about a situation around you at this moment in time. There's just, do you know what I think? Do you know what, minute? Everything's chaotic around you. That's what I'm sensing from this card at this moment. Everything's chaotic around you, so that's what I'm going to stick with. But I do feel like that you're being turned up, so like your life's being turned upside down at the minute. And it's like you don't know which way to go. You're like shrugging your shoulders as if to say, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do." You don't know which way to go. There's definitely, you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know whether there's 4 things that have led up to this, because I can see the 4 lines coming in. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, 5. 4 lines coming in. So I don't know if it were like 4 events that have caused this to be happening around you now. But there's, like I said, at the minute you're very hectic. Also happening around you now, you've got your head in your clouds. So as much as everything's going off around you, you're like not really taking much notice to things that are going off around you. And even though it's so chaotic, it's like in your head, it's like, I'll put it off while tomorrow, we'll sort it out another day. And you really, really need to like look down and start looking at this situation, because it is going to be affecting others around you more than what you think. Because it's like you're not taking it as seriously as what maybe others think it is. But like I said, there's definitely a lot of chaos around you. But it's like with this one, it's like you're in 2 different places here, because here you've got all that chaos. It's like your world's turned upside down. But it's like your head's saying, if I close my eyes, it's not going to happen, kind of thing. So I think you really do need to like look at the situations around you and really open your eyes to some of what's going off, because I don't think everything going off around you is that straightforward at the minute. So this one's relating into this one, I think, because like you're sitting and you're thinking, so really what it's telling you is all these things here that's going off around you in this moment, you've really got to start taking your head from the clouds and start thinking about these situations. Because if you don't, the 4 that it was is going to become more. And I'm going to use the 7 Pentacles coming around you as more and more issues are going to be made from just this one thing coming, what's happened here. The 4 things now you can still, once you look down and you start acknowledging and taking things a bit more seriously, then I don't think these will come into play, but you've definitely got to start opening your eyes and looking, and you can see that from cards, what they're telling you. Also, so again, with Two of Swords card, you're going into protection mode. So again, your eyes are closed, and I feel that it's like you start thinking about it, but then you feel, I don't know whether you're going to feel attacked because certain things going off, so you put that protection guard back up on yourself. But there's definitely things around you now that really need your attention, and you're just not giving them attention that they need. And if you don't start looking and taking responsibility or doing something about it, it's just going to accumulate, and more things are going to happen, and you're not going to be able to like bury your head around it. But you can't put that defense up either, and close your eyes off to it and like just go on defense, because you really do need, you can sort all this. You've just got to open your eyes and just see what's around you, by lovely. So that's what I'm getting round you at this moment in time. So Brett, the Hangman first card.
Okay, who's this for? Is Tracy, is it?
Tracy.
Okay, Tracy. The young man, like Lindsay said, is a major arcana card, so it signifies an important area in your life. In your past, there's been some kind of stagnation, because that is what the hangman signifies. Your life has, in the past, has literally ground to an halt. There's been a situation where you have literally got yourself into a rut over something. Situations have occurred that stop your life dead. It's as simple as that. It literally is the card of suspension. Everything you knew before it just ground to an halt. It's as simple as that. That is what the card represents. It's not all negative, because there is a way, you know, it's not a permanent stagnation. It is a temporary thing. And the fact that that crown spreads out below him shows that you've got multiple options there that are branching out. But because it's a major arcana in your past, it does signify there's been a major event in your past that has actually stopped your life dead at a point, and it has moved no further up until this point in the past. There's a definitely ceasing of movement in your past, in your life. But, you know, hope isn't lost, because the crown branches, and it shows that there's always hope there to branch out into other things and get your life moving again. Okay, that's that one.
Magician.
Into your present. Now this, again, another major arcana card. I like the Magician, because the Magician is the sign of skill, self-confidence, trickery and sleight of hand. So what it is saying to me is that the Magician is showing that you yourself are the key to getting yourself out of this. It's not going to be as a result of anybody else, and it's not going to be as a result of a situation. The way to get yourself out of this is through your own ingenuity. And because it's fell in the present, it's telling me that this suspension with the hangman is coming to an end in this period now. And it is as a result of your own actions and ingenuity that this is going to be achieved. It also shows there's going to be a change of mindset, Tracy, a rethinking of things, and time to put the past to bed and learn new skills and new tricks. So that is what the future, the present is showing for you. The
Seven of
future.
Pentacles.
Now, the Seven of Pentacles, anything Pentacles, people like to hear about because they concern the material. The 7 is a very lucky number in the elemental realm, and linked to the Pentacles, it does show that there is an increase in the material realm for you up and coming in the future. So I don't know whether you're planning on a new job, new relationship or something, but it is going to benefit you on a financial setting. It's also to me, it looks like there are flowers growing in a garden. So it's saying out of the badness of the past, new seeds are going to grow. You're not going to forget the past, because the flowers are going to be there to always remind you, but they are also going to be there to help you. They are going to be literally the reward of the past. So even if the past has been a little hard for you, there are rewards coming from the past that are about to show themselves in your future.
Wow. Two of Swords.
Right, now your final outcome is the Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords, I always say, is blind decision. So what this is saying to me is your final outcome at the moment is totally undecided, because literally to me that card represents the hands of fate in such a respect of you being in control of the fate. It's a blind decision that you have to make now. It's not a decision that's good and bad. It's just two possible outcomes that you've got coming up. But you're not aware of what they are at the moment. And when you make the decision, you're not going to have the full facts, because that is what the blindfold signifies. It is saying that your future at the moment is undecided and you've got to make a leap of faith. But that is your final outcome. But just trust your instincts, Tracy. Just make a leap of faith. That is what the Two of Swords represents.
Oh, that's all right for you, Tracy, my lovely. Next.
Crystal Grid.
Crystal Grid, yes.
Yeah. She wants career and future.
Yeah.
And 33.
Career and future. And I'm gonna use steampunk.
Oh no, go on.
So career and future. And what we're at, number 3.
I'll warn you now before we even start, I'm going to struggle with this deck.
33.
Yeah.
Just have 3. Thank God for that.
So your first card, I've got the Wheel of Fortune. So for me, the Wheel of Fortune card speaks opportunities. So I think at the minute you're going to have opportunities around your career. What were it? Career and what? Future. So yeah, so I think at the minute there's going to be loads of opportunities coming up around you for your career wise. And again, I would say don't jump into deep end from frying pan into frying pan, is it? No. Frying pan into fire. Yeah, that it. Don't rush into anything. Because you've also got like a clock figure here, so really think about which of these opportunities coming up. But the Wheel of Fortune for me is going to say that you've got new things coming up career wise. So job wise, there's going to be a couple of changes coming in and new beginnings and opportunities, my lovely. The next card, we've got the Three of Swords. So because the Three of Swords, this one, it's got the heart. So I'm not sure whether in past you've had your heart broken, but again, I feel that either somebody from your past is going to step forward, because again on this card you can see you've got the opportunity cogs going again. So I think somebody that you may have had a run-in with or a disagreement with. I think they're going to actually bring in an opportunity, because this sword is more foot forward. But I do think with this sword also, I do think that you have been hurt in the past. And I think there's been 2 people that have seriously hurt you. But the one that's stepping forward with other opportunities, this one is not, they hurt you, but not in the way like the other 2 did. But also, with this one as well, maybe this is a warning to you that one of these opportunities that's been offered may not be the proper opportunity for you also. The next card, you've got the Fool card coming in. So again, for me, this one's just going to relate back to these. Don't be a fool and don't rush in, because these opportunities that are coming up, again, going back to that card, you've got to really think about it. But also the Fool, to me at the minute, it's like, again, I'll go back to it. It reminds me of Mary Poppins, you know, when they're singing on roof and they like walk across clouds, that kind of thing. It reminds me like that. So to me, one of these opportunities coming up in past is definitely going to take you on a journey that you didn't expect to go on, just because I just sense Mary Poppins in my head. So yeah, it's definitely a new path coming in and coming forward. And again, to me, they're just relating back to these opportunities coming up. So that's all I can say at the minute about this one. But I will, if you want another reading doing or whatever, I will do one for you next time we're on, if you want to see a different outcome. So, Brett, you've got the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay. Right, Crystal. This is interesting in relation to future career. I will say your middle card is showing disappointment, but don't panic, because when I tell you about that one, the third one is a benefit to it. Right, your first one is the Wheel of Fortune that does show that there will be a change of fortunes within your career. What is important to notice here is those three symbols are in a triangle, which means they are all interconnected with one another. What is interesting to note is the bottom left-hand one is the pentacle, which to me always represents material. The bottom right-hand one, I don't know whether you know it or not, actually is the four symbols of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. So, and the top one is a clock. So what that is saying to me is, for your changing fortunes in a career-wise, it's saying to me, do not devote all your time to your career. You've got to find the balance between career and home life for you to be successful in the career, if you know what I mean. And because of the clock, it's saying it's not something that's going to be achieved overnight. It's something that's going to take a little bit of time. But the secret to you having a successful future career will be learning to get that balance between the material side of your career and the elemental side of your own life. And it is very much tied to the clock. Right, now your middle card, this is the one that is not so good when read singly, but paired with what's surrounding it, it is actually a benefit. And what this is saying to me is, you are going to face a disappointment in your career in the future. I don't know whether it's going to be a promotion you want, or something, a job you're working towards, but there is going to be an element of disappointment surrounding that, because I always say the Three of Hearts is the three swords stabbed through the heart. So it signifies there's a disappointment in a hope or wish. So whatever it is you're currently wishing for within your career, there is going to be a disappointment at worst. At best, there is going to be a setback. But there is definitely showing disappointment to come within the career. But take my word for it, this is going to be a good thing, because we'll move on to the final card.
The Fool.
Now, your final card is the Fool. Again, another major arcana card. You've got 2 out of the 3, which tells me this is a good reading. And what this is saying is, out of this disappointment, there is going to be a totally brand new thing coming up for you career-wise, Crystal. The Fool is considered the first card of the tarot deck. It is 0. It is number 0. It is also the first card of the major arcana and signifies the start of a new journey, new beginnings, new journeys, but more importantly, new enterprise. Usually he's shown walking blindly off a cliff with a little dog. I think it's the little dog on that card.
Yeah, the dog's on.
Right, now that little dog represents the fact that there is always somebody there not to let you walk off that cliff blindly without warning you. So what it's saying is, when this new opportunity comes, seize it. But it's gonna come as a result of somebody else. But it is definitely linked to this disappointment you are going to have in your current career, or the current career you want to pursue. But there is definitely going to be new enterprises coming as a result of it, because of the Fool. So even though that middle card sounds a bit negative, it's actually a massive positive for your Crystal, because what that disappointment leads to is far better than what you originally hoped for in terms of career. So I hope that helps.
Wow. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Crystal. I hope that was okay for you, my lovely. Who have we got next? Steve. And has Steve give a number?
No.
No, Steve, are you here? Could we
How
have
many have we done so far?
Steve's his last one. And then you can breathe, Brett.
I can breathe.
Actually, we've only done
9.
9.
Have we?
9. Yeah.
Mind
we've
if you
done
think
9.
about it, if you think about it, we've actually done 18.
Yeah, well, we have, haven't we? Yes. So, Steve, my lovely, I need a number and a deck of cards, and what reading you're having.
General future, please, and 2.
General future and 2. And which pack? can see your foot tapping.
It's okay, Steve. It's fine. There's no pressure. I'm used to it. Honestly, by the time you get to the end of them, you think, Jesus, I'm just mentally knackered.
Fairy. Marvelous. And it's 3.
Steve's a fairy.
Steve's a fairy. Right. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we do with 3 if I have to take top one off. So, general reading. So for me, you've got the balance card first, and this strength at Lion. So again, I'm just going to say, Stephen, your strength. And in this card, you can see why it's strength, because you're the lady's strength. And with the lion, you've got the blood coming from the lion's mouth, which to me means that you would, in that saying, you protect till death. Do you know what I mean? You're that kind of protector. But I do feel, Steve, that there is a celebration coming up, and it is to do with you and a lady. Definitely a celebration coming up. But actually, I think there could be 2 round about the same time. But there's a celebration coming up. But also, I think at minute, because down here you've got like a bit of colour, a bit more colour coming in. So this, I feel. I mean, I'll see on next cards. But there's some form of change or something coming in around you. But you've got, you've got spirit. You've got I mean, these cards I find them really spiritual anyway. So it's a spiritual pack. So I do believe that you have got the spiritual elements around you. But there's definitely a change coming in. So let me have a look what that change is coming in. But at minute, I do feel like you are. You're the what is it? Well, what's the lion? It's like the lion protects his
Pride.
Yeah, pride. The lion protects his pride. Maybe somebody's hurt his pride a little bit, though. Maybe somebody's hurt your pride a little bit because you're bleeding front mouth. Now, John's told me pride. I'm not sure whether somebody could have hurt your pride at minute, slightly. I'm not sure, but just that blood. But like I said, the only reason I said there were 2 celebrations coming round 1 is just because you've got the celebration cup, but you've got the white like feather coming in. So to me, it's like 2 celebrations in 1 that's coming up. Your next card, you've got Unity card. So again, for me, the new thing, I think the new bit that you've got coming in here is the bird. So the bird's coming in. So I think also around you, but then again, I know where you are. Again, around you, I think again the spiritualism coming in around you, Steve, which I know that anyway. But there's also something with children, surrounding children. I'm not sure whether 1 or 2 of the children are displaying signs of like a connection with spirit also, just because they've got like the shines on the head. But I also feel that you're also teaching, because you like sat there like Gandalf did, if you know what I mean. And, like, you like teaching, and they're listening. So I think they like really do look up to you in the way that you carry yourself also. But I do feel that spirituality, the spirits around what the kid, whether you need to talk to kids if you haven't already, because I do think that the kids have got some form of gift around you, and maybe don't actually understand it themselves, and it could. I'm not saying it can scare them, but do you know what I mean? They just need help with the understanding, and I think that's where you need to come in at the minute. Your last card, you've got the King of Spring. So again, you've got your armor on, you're protected. So at the minute, I do think that you do need to protect. You're protecting your home and your family, because you stood in front of the home here, but you've also again got your wings. And I do think that there's a definite change coming in for you, because you've sort of like changed appearances on all these things coming in. So I think there's a big change coming in around you, Steve, and I'm not sure whether it's to do with based around your pride or something like that. But whatever it is, there is the changes that you're going to make coming in. But like I said, I do feel around you at the minute that your kids have got some noticing spiritual elements that maybe you do need to address and talk to, because your family is a spiritual family, and I'm getting that because the lady's got the wings there as well. So yeah, so I would definitely talk to kids in a way, talking to them, but we aren't getting them like saying scary words or whatever, but you understand. But yeah, there's definitely a change coming in, and there's definitely an opportunity that's lit up in front of you. Now you're looking straight at it, but it's also been in your head. So there's something you're thinking about doing that you've been thinking about doing for a while, and I feel that it was more away from you, but now with things as they are and things happening the way they are, it's actually within grasping reach for you to turn around and start taking on this connection that you've got here to what you've been like distancing yourself from, the opportunities coming closer for you to make that decision and bring that connection together and make that change happen. So that's what I'm getting from these three at the moment. Brett, balance card.
Right. What I get off this card at the moment is that you're about to approach a period where you are going to have to draw on a lot of inner strength, or you have recently done it. I'm getting the impression, and I don't like to say this, but I believe there is going to be some kind of disruption within the family. On a physical level concerning the lion spitting the blood. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be fatal or there's going to be a death, but I do think there is going to be, and I know with what's going on at the moment, I don't think it's connected to that. Okay, we won't go into the word, but I do believe that something on the physical level of things concerning your family is about to come up, but it's not going to be of a fatal nature. So I do believe there, that there is someone, that woman there has got like the light glowing behind that fairy, or is it a fairy?
Yeah. Well, it's like a lady. It's a lady with wings. Yeah.
Yeah. She's almost like a guardian spirit that is going to watch over whoever this is within the family, Steve, and she's going to make sure that they are all right. She's the one who's going to bring this inner strength, because it's like I say, it's not going to be nothing fatal, but there is going to be some kind of illness coming up within the family. And just because it's blood, it doesn't mean say it's going to be like a bloody illness or anything like that. But there is going to be some kind of, it's going to be a significant illness or something like that within the family that is going to require you on a personal level to take charge and have the strength for maybe other people within the family. You're going to be literally their pillar. Like I say, it's not going to be anything fatal. I'm not saying anybody's going to die in the family, but I am saying that there is going to be somebody from within your family who has already passed on, who is going to be there, who's going to be watching over things, because I'm getting the impression of that lady, she, with the glow and stuff and the light, that she is actually coming as a kind of guardian to make sure that your family is protected. But I don't think it's to do with what. Okay?
Yeah. Unity.
Right. Again, this leads on from that, and I think whatever this situation is, it is literally going to be like a gravity bomb for your family. It is really going to pull your family together. It's going to really tightly knit you. Maybe where there's been little infractions, or maybe there's been distance within the family, whatever happens regarding your strength card is going to pull all your family back together. So this is where your positives are coming in. It is literally, as it says, it is going to unite the family. I think it may be the shock that the family needs. I ain't saying your family are split up in any way, but I think they've maybe drifted their own separate ways, and this is the thing that's going to pull everybody back onto, you know, being more family orientated rather than going on their own merry little ways. But again, it is a positive card, this one. And your strength card isn't a negative one. It's just advising that, you know, this illness is coming. There is going to be a unifying bond within the family. Right, now your final outcome, this is why I said it's not going to be majorly bad or drastic, is you've got the King of Spring. Now, the King, I always say, is it is the ultimate card in any suit. So it signifies victory and conquest. But because it's spring, spring is a renewing of life. And this is what makes me say that this illness is not going to be life-threatening. It's going to be serious enough that, you know, people worry, but it's not going to be anything life-threatening in the long term. And the King is there to tell you that, you know, you are going to come through it victorious. It's going to make you more of a stronger person, but it's also going to armor you in a way for future events. It's going to wrap you in the kind of emotional armor that you're going to need to carry you on in you know, at the time when maybe people do leave you, who, you know, not early or anything, but it will help you. This situation that goes on now will set you on a good path for the rest of your life, dealing with emotional stuff within the family setting. So I hope that helps you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And thank you, Steve, and everybody else for allowing me and Brett to read for you. I hope you've had an interesting night. I sure have. I've right enjoyed that.
And I've enjoyed it as well.
Listening to readings. I do find it really, really good. Now, if we do cut off, we have been going for 1 hour, 1 minute.
Oh, we'll be cutting off soon then.
We will. But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much to everybody joining us and anybody that's watching after the fact. I have been joined by the gorgeous Above Paranormal, Mr. Brett himself. And I think Jason somewhere sneaking in the background.
Not gorgeous. I'm too old to be gorgeous now. Anyway.
Thank you so much. It's been a great evening. I love my reading from you both. You're very welcome, Karen, and so is everybody else. We are going to be live on, well, I'll let Brett tell you quickly.
Yeah, on Sunday we're going to be doing this all over again using my Rider White deck. So I get to turn the tables on Lindsay, and Lindsay gets to read from a deck she's never used before. We start it at 9 o'clock, and it normally, you know, we'll do it for an hour and a half, 2 hours, roughly about the time of this. You know, it won't be going on too long because it is knackering. Yeah. But I always start my streams at 9 o'clock, so it'll roughly 9 till 11 will be for card reading. Same setup as Lindsay's done here, and it'll be first come, first serve kind of thing. And if anybody wants anything specific like we've done here, if they want a specific question answered, more than happy to do it.
Yeah,
so
just make sure, yeah.
The channel is actually Above Paranormal, so if you need to find it, just put in Above Paranormal.
Different hostess with the mostess, though.
Pardon? It's a different hostess with the mostess.
Yes, we'll have Andy, my hostess with the mostess. I don't know what glittery dress he'll be wearing, and Andy is from Elemental Encounters. We do normally have a general paranormal discussion afterwards. A general chat, and I do warn you, it does sometimes get a little bit tongue-in-cheek. So if you are easily offended, it is probably best not to hang around for the chat afterwards.
Oh my God. Well, yes. So hopefully we'll see you all Sunday night, 9 o'clock on Above Paranormal's channel. And again, if you can just drop your questions in, so then Andy can gauge questions that if we've got coming. So we can get straight into it, I suppose, Brett. Same as not everybody will. But
the good thing is I normally start the stream about 8:45 with a countdown, so you should be able to get, you know, if you're in there for 8:45, you should guarantee a spot, and you should be able to put your
never thought of doing that.
You can put your questions into your WhatsApp.
Yeah, we can't do that, can we? Because we're on different. So
when I use StreamYard, I can't use my countdown. It's a bit annoying. Yeah,
it is. So, well, thank you very much for everybody joining. Thank you, Brett, for so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it tonight.
You're welcome. I'm not going to keep you on talking because my back's about to snap.
Yeah, I know.
And yes, so everybody take care, and we shall see you all Tomorrow night on investigation, Saturday night we're on investigation, and Sunday I'm on with Brett. So marvelous. So I am now going to end the stream. If Brett stays where you are a minute. And thank you to everybody joining us tonight, and we'll see you soon. Sweet dreams.
Thanks for a great night, everybody. Good night.
Right.